Well, Mark, first off, thank you so much for stepping to the plate and running for town council.
Of course, no worries. Yeah,
The first question that we have for you is we want to hear a little bit about yourself and also what motivated you to run for Okotoks Council.
for sure. Yeah. So yeah, my wife and I, we've been married or it's our 10-year anniversary coming up next week. And my wife came to Okotoks when she was 7 from Ontario. I was born and raised in Calgary, so I'm kind of local. And we've got 2 young boys. We got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they're just crazy. Just keep us on our toes,
Yeah.
for sure. And this year, going to grade 1, and then the other one's going to pre-K. So my wife is finally getting a little break throughout the week, which is nice. We've got a little dog. His name is Luke Skywalker when we first got married. So my last name is Walker. So I wanted one of our sons to be Luke Skywalker. So I could say,
Yeah, absolutely. That
right?
makes
It just
sense.
makes sense. Who wouldn't
Yeah.
want
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife said, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then we had our boys, and she kiboshed that. So I said, fine, if I can't have a son named that, I'm going to need a dog, and I'm going to name him that. So that's why we have our Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you still,
Yeah.
it seems like you're young enough. You still have time to maybe have one more so you could keep the dream alive.
Keep
Maybe?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My luck going to just be all girls. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
So,
Lucille.
yeah, I come from a big, large Christian family. I have 10 siblings. I am the ninth. So I'm one of the younger ones. And through that, I've learned a lot about life, and a lot about listening and growing and that kind of stuff. So um, I've taken that into my life here in Okotoks. I work from home, so I can be with my family, be with my kids. But then also I have lots of opportunities to volunteer in the community with my church and that kind of stuff. So I work a lot with the youth, in youth programs and sporting events and that kind of stuff. We're a big basketball team. All my siblings have all played basketball growing up. So I literally was born, on a Tuesday, and on a Wednesday I was at a basketball game. So
Yeah,
it's
right
it's
on.
been awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Mark, what is your vision for Okotoks over the next 4 years, and what role do you see yourself playing in helping achieve that vision?
Yeah. So I think, first of all, Okotoks is an awesome place. I think it's fantastic. I think we have heaps of people that have come before us that have made it into what it is today. Like,
Hmm.
hands down, it is amazing, and that's why we came here. Well, I guess that's why I moved here. Is I caught the vision of what it is, the small town feel, like the dogs, baseball games, the
Hmm.
BMX park, the walking paths, the mountain so close, Sheep River Falls. Like, it's just, there's everything here to do, and it's a nice, quiet place. I grew up in Calgary, so the Deerfoot, McLeod, just go, 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 busy, busy, busy. And Okotoks is truly an awesome place that has that small town feel, and we also got a Costco and a Walmart. So what else do you
Hmm.
need, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to help continue that. I am a family man, hardworking father, and I know that the demographic of Okotoks, average I think is about 39 years old is the average age of Okotoks, and so I
Hmm.
feel like I slot in that demographic, and I have a good voice and a good beat on what people in my stage of life are going through and what we could use and what we could need. And so I just want to make sure that Okotoks stays a place that's safe, it grows responsibly, and that my kids can grow up in the Okotoks that I enjoy today. That's
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
my biggest thing is I want to make sure that it's a place that my kids want to stay and other people want to as well.
Right on. In your view, what are the top two or three issues facing Okotoks right now, and how would you approach them if you were elected?
So I think we'll talk about it is the growth and the infrastructure. I think
Hmm.
Okotoks is at a very unique time in its growth where people want to come here. It's an awesome place. Like, I wanted to come here. So I don't think that stopping that is going to work. Um, I wouldn't want people to stop me from coming. So I think the biggest, if not the biggest, is making sure that our we grow responsibly, and that we have the infrastructure in place to accommodate that growth. Um, the other thing that I feel is important is transparency. I am a man of the people. I love talking with people. I love getting to know people, and I love to know people's opinions. I am not perfect for this job at all. I
Hmm.
can people ask me like, what's your credentials? I'm an operations manager. I deal with people, like projects, that kind of stuff. But in terms of politics or um, making procedures, yeah, no, I'm not the best at that, and I know that. But I feel like I have a good voice. I can talk with people, and I can make sure that Okotokian voices are heard. And that's what I want to get across, is that transparency. And then the next big thing would be the safety, for my kids and for every Okotokian here.
Hmm.
That we have affordable housing, that we have, places where families can go and do things, rec centers and splash parks, schools, healthcare, um,
Yes,
all a part of that growth that makes sure that, whatever stage families, if you're retired, if you're just starting out, that you have a place here in Okotoks.
for sure. Okotoks continues to face challenges around growth, housing, and infrastructure. How do you believe in the town should balance development with maintaining its character and livability?
Yeah. Again, that's kind of what I was talking about before. It's huge
Hmm.
right now. Like I said, I don't want to stop people from coming to Okotoks. It's an awesome place. We have awesome things to do. We have walking paths. We have the scenery. But I just think we have to make sure that we plan for it. And I don't know if that's been done as well as it could have been. I think we have a lot of housing and a lot of communities and one road and 1,000 streetlights. And so
Hmm.
we're getting clogged up. Just, I live in the north end of town, so I don't have to go down North Ridge and South Ridge. I can
Hmm.
just kind of go the back way up the highway. But when I go to friend's house in, Cimarron, Sheep River, it's a long drive and there's a lot of lights and a lot of congestion.
Hmm.
And so I think making sure that we have a plan and that we have roadways and traffic circles, better lights, whatever that may be,
Hmm.
so that we can facilitate for that growth. Um, because yeah, again, I think with people brings in more revenue for taxes and whatnot that we can build and grow. But we have to make sure that it makes sense. My wife picks up my son from Meadow Ridge
Hmm.
every day, and she hates it.
Yeah, yeah.
She getting there and dropping him off and then picking him up again is awful. And I think it's just because the planning, we've just grown so fast without having that infrastructure, roadways in place that we need.
Absolutely. Question number 5. Many residents want more transparency and involvement in decision making. How would you ensure residents' voices are heard and represented at council?
Yeah, no, I think that's huge. Um, Again, I looked at the town website. There are resources to go in there and see meetings and agendas and that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But I think just even, I know I've talked to a lot of people and they say, I'm not on Facebook. I don't have Twitter.
Hmm.
An email would be great, or, a text message to my phone with an update, or even, the old school town hall meetings, where, we can just get together and sit down and have a chat, right?
Hmm.
So I think things like that is what I want to allow so that people can get the information in a way that works for them. Some people don't want to go on Facebook. I don't blame them. Some people want an email. Some people just want a face-to-face conversation. So
Hmm.
I want to allow for forms, for emails, for meetings, uh, to be readily available for the residents so that, yeah, come and hear what we have to say and then tell us what you feel.
For sure. Town council works as a team and also with Foothills County and the province. How would you approach collaboration and compromise to get results for Okotoks?
Yeah. Um, Everyone wants what's best for their community. Foothills wants what's best for Foothills and wants to, grow and develop. Okotoks wants the same. I think there has to be that give and take when working together with our roads. As Foothills continues to grow out, um, we see more and more influx of people coming to Okotoks to use our amenities and our services. And so I think that we have to work together to make sure that not only our roads are safe, the highway there, 338, that we can get across the highway.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, those things have to be addressed and worked on so that, the people living in the foothills, I don't blame them. I would love to live on an acreage out there. That's fantastic. But so that we're both working together to make sure that everyone's safe and that we can accommodate for that growth. So I think it's a lot of give and take, really.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If residents remember just one thing about you after listening to this conversation, what should it be, Mark?
I think the biggest thing is I'm here to serve. I think as public servants, that's our number one job. Our job is to listen to our fellow residents and Okotogians and then do what's best. I think to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And I think that I can do that. I can provide a strong voice for you. I believe that I have strong morals and values and integrity, and I will take that to town council. Um,
Mhm.
I can't promise anything. I know that there's been, some people that have made promises or people want promises or what are you going to do? And yeah, I'm going to try my best to do A, B, and C and D, but I
Mhm.
can't promise anything. It takes four of us to make something happen on town
Mhm.
council. So I will, uh, you know, share with you my thoughts and opinions and my beliefs and values. And then from there, I will work for you to take that to town council and make the changes that you want and that I can help you out with.
Yeah. Right on. Well, like when now we're gonna move away from the formal questions and just
Yeah,
kind of have a discussion now. So, uh, what are you hearing? What are you hearing from the average, other than the things that we discussed here now with infrastructure and growth and all that stuff? What are some of the other concerns that you're hearing from Okotokians?
from Okotokians. So one thing that I actually got an email about that I've thought about, but again, I don't really frequent the downtown. Was a lady said, Mark, there's a issue with parking and accessibility for those with special needs or
Hmm.
accommodations. What can be done about that? And I agree. Downtown is hard enough to park without any accessibility challenges or issues um, alone. So I that was one that was brought up to me, and I was thinking, maybe we have better accessibility parkings in the back in the alleyways and have paved paths so that people can get to businesses or Elizabeth Street. Maybe we mandate certain parkings in different parking stalls so that people can go to each major parking lot along Elizabeth Street and get out of their car and get into their car. Sorry. Um, so yeah, that was one of them. Another thing was, about fiscal responsibility, which I want to make sure that we're responsible. I can't say that, we should freeze taxes. I don't know if that makes sense. But I do think that we should, as people, know where our money's going and have a say in that. Someone brought
Hmm.
up the pickleball courts, and they said, I don't play pickleball or tennis. So is this any good for me? Maybe that $3 million+ that the town, gave out could have been spent for something else.
Hmm.
Um, and again, I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but was the proper, you know, polls had or input from the town of, hey, we're going to spend this money. Is this a good spot? Do you guys agree with it? Is there anywhere else that this money could go? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of a difficulty with leadership, right?
Hmm.
Because you've been put in place to make decisions, and you're hoping to make decisions for the entire community, and yet not everybody's always going to agree with the pickleball courts, the skateboard parks, the hockey rinks. We agree with the things that affect us the most, but we
Yeah,
don't necessarily agree with well, I don't play pickleball, and why do we need a pickleball court?
exactly.
It's yeah, no, fair enough. So so you don't it sounds like you want to kind of get in there, see what's going on, get a better grasp as to what's going on fiscally, so you can't really make a decision on how you feel. Obviously nobody likes paying more taxes,
No,
but you want to get in there just to see what the progression is inside of taxes as it increases or decreases or freezes or whatever. It sounds like that's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, and I think too, like with that growth, with more growth means we're getting more taxes, right? More money is coming in as we grow.
Hmm.
And so what does that look like in terms of those things that we need infrastructure? Have those things proportionally been grown as well as we are getting more money?
Hmm.
Where is that money going to? Is it fluff things that we don't really need, or is it actually, things that we can see and feel and touch that make the most sense to most people? And like you said, not everyone's going to agree with everything, and that's the way it is. But you know, is that money being spent wisely, and is everyone feel good about, hey, I paid more tax this year, but I got this, or my town is doing this for me.
Yeah, because I do think there it is certainly a balancing act these days
Hmm.
with the cost going up, and okay, maybe if we cut here, maybe if we don't cut the grass every week, maybe if we shorten it up or go every 10 days or whatever, we're going to save X amount of dollars. So there's a lot of, and I don't know if that's a fact. I'm just using that as an
Yeah,
example as to
right.
how to juggle things. But municipal politics is certainly I the more I dive into it, the more I like municipal politics because you could have somebody that is, and I know that we're not showing our uh, partisan colors, but you could have somebody
Yeah,
that's, a little bit left, a little bit right, but you got to come together and you got to talk it out and, hopefully have a balance of power inside of council to lead and guide so that we're not forgetting certain aspects because I know that the way my brain thinks and I don't, yeah, like you had mentioned, because right now I don't have any family members that have a disability. um Accessibility downtown is not on my radar, and I think that's the way a lot of people work. It's just, well, what's on our radar? But you also mentioned, like, you said people want to come here. Like, why is it that people want to come to, in your opinion, want to come to
yeah.
Okotoks?
So I know probably three or four families that have moved in the last year.
Where they move
Uh,
from?
they moved from Calgary.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they said it's again the small town feel. It's not as busy. They don't have to hit Deerfoot and be stuck in bumper traffic. Driving from south end of Calgary to even the south or the southeast or southwest, it takes them a long time,
Mhm.
and it's faster for them to live in Okotoks and drive into Calgary than to live in Calgary and drive to downtown.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, it's we and again, we're so close to Calgary. We're 20 minutes away. Whereas even, Cochrane or Airdrie, like they're quite a bit difference in a distance than us. So I think we have that sweet spot of, we're outside and we're even tucked off the highway, right? Like Airdrie is right. The highway cuts Airdrie in half,
I know.
where we're just kind of, ooh, little
Yeah.
Okotoks here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense why people want to come.
For sure. Like, I think, like we're talking about accessibility. If it doesn't affect us, we're not really concerned about it. Why would we spend all this money? But like when it comes to growth, again, I still think it's the same thing. As long as it doesn't affect me, I don't care.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I think I was talking to Colin about this, and we just said because of the new growth is all front and center in the north end of town,
Yeah.
and uh, I think people start to see it, and then they're affected because their commute times are delayed. With, I don't know, like how many extra lights have been put in right in that
Oh,
Darcy area, right?
yeah.
Like it does feel that just because we have an intersection doesn't mean we need to stick up lights, or maybe
Yeah.
we don't need to have as many intersections, right? So it's those types of things that I think if we were to eliminate and realize, okay, we're becoming a big city now. It's time
Mhm.
to put on our big city pants and basically make decisions so that we are looking, so the answer isn't, okay, let's just throw up a light or let's do this, but let's really study how we can make the traffic flow in town. And I think you start addressing some of those issues where you don't get that feel of the Seaton area in North Calgary or
Yeah.
North Okotoks. I think people would be okay, more like okay with the growth. But as soon as it starts affecting them, they're like, that's, I moved here for a reason, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly it. Like I hear from people, we're growing, we're growing, we're growing, and again, like the growth is inevitable. I don't think we can stop it, but I think it's the growing that's causing delays or negative impact on their daily lives, right? Like
Yes.
people move to Okotoks for a better life, slower pace, easier to get around. But when that growth starts affecting someone's day to day life, that's when it's like, whoa, whoa, like no one else can come here, you're affecting me, right?
Yes.
And I think that's for everyone. Like that's not just a, hey, you're a married man, that's gonna affect you. I'm retired. I don't go anywhere, so that doesn't affect me. No, I think everyone who lives in the town is affected one way or another by that growth.
Yes.
And you know,
No, absolutely. Yeah, and I do think like we've all chosen to live here. We love it. We want to keep that small town feel, but a part of that is then some crime and some things that
mm,
do start taking place where you start to get maybe a little bit nervous. But how do you see bylaw policing, like how do you feel things have been up to this point for you? And obviously, we add more people to the population, it's going to start increasing crime and safety in the town as well.
yeah, 100%. We always joked like before I moved to Okotoks that Okotoks, um, if you even think about speeding, you're gonna get a ticket because there's so many, you know, um, uh, RCMP and peace officers catching speeders, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I think we do have the numbers. I think we have them there. I think maybe just allocating them in different areas um, to help with that crime rate or that safety
Hmm.
would be beneficial. And again, I don't know kind of their policies or procedures of, I need this many tickets a day or, I need to do this. But I think I was listening to Colin's podcast about, where are they at certain times of the day? Are they in playground zones during pickup and drop off? Coming home, are they in places where traffic is and where people are? At nighttime, are they patrolling the streets where there's typical crime or issues at pickleball courts or basketball courts or where kids get into trouble?
Hmm.
What are they doing? Where are they to kind of facilitate that? Because yeah, you're
Hmm.
right. As we do grow and as housing prices increase, those things happen for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What about businesses in town? How do you see your role on council in regards to not only like supporting small businesses, supporting existing businesses that are already here, and then attracting more businesses as well? How do you see your involvement there?
Yeah, I think like my family members have gotten business licenses here and that kind of stuff. And Okotoks is, I feel like it's a very hard town for businesses to come to. There's a lot of red tape that they have to jump through to get their business licenses. Um, the taxes are high. You just even look by Costco, all of those new buildings that have gone up
Hmm.
for retail space, and again, I maybe one or two have been sold. Um, so I want to help out our local businesses to ease on the burden with those taxes that they face,
Hmm.
and then also make it easier for them to operate. Because, like you said, we need to support the people that have built this town, and there's many businesses in downtown Okotoks that have been here for a long, long time and have given us the identity of Okotoks.
Yes.
And I've heard from them again. There's been construction downtown, and that's been mixed reviews. I think a lot of businesses appreciate it because they know they need that infrastructure in order to continue to prosper and grow. Um, some have complained about parking issues or whatnot, but I think making sure that they are taken care of and ask them what they need. Uh, like, do you need more parking? Do you um, need more help from us with signage or um, or different events or avenues that we can help them out with.
Mhm. Yeah. No, absolutely. And how do you like with the events and different things like that, like how do you see the town being a part of events and community um functions? How do you see town council's role in that? Do you value that, or is it something that you maybe don't value as much as other things?
Yeah. No, and that's one reason we love Okotoks. Like we on our calendar every year, we have Light Up Okotoks, we have the car show,
Mhm.
we have the chili cook-off. We just found out about like I didn't know about the duck race thing. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So those I think those are kind of what give us the identity of the small town feel.
Mhm.
I invite my siblings from Calgary all the time to come to light up Okotoks, and they're like, "What is this?" You're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we shut down old downtown and we light up this Christmas tree, and we gather around like elf." No, we don't do that, but
Yeah.
it's just those
Yeah.
those community feels, and the businesses love it. They get involved. They can then sell their products and show off what they have. So I think the town and I think we've done a great job. I think the town has done an awesome, awesome job with having those events. I think Tanya Thorne went and got a medal or a recognition for Light Up Okotoks.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it has been fantastic, and I think those type of things are the things that we got to continue to do and grow upon and build.
Absolutely. No, you said earlier that and we weren't recording at this time, but you said you're running for your family.
Yeah,
Can you explain that to me?
for sure. Yeah, my family is everything. My boys are my life. We do everything together. That's why I work from home now. I used to work at a car dealership, and that was
Mhm.
just taking way too much time. And so I wanted to be able to be with my kids and to see them grow and to see them do certain things. And so I want Okotoks to continue to be that place that has been so good to us so far. Uh, my son is in Taekwondo. They do swimming. They do skating. We delivered the Western Wheel together,
Mhm.
um, and it's such a cool, awesome cocoon of a town to raise my boys,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And so that for me is the dream. They talk about the American dream or whatever, right? This is my
Mhm.
Okotokian dream is to raise my boys and to give them opportunities um, to have their best and most fulfilled life. So if I can play a part by being on town council to make sure that happens, as we were delivering papers yesterday for the Western Wheel, my son and I was pulling him in the wagon and we're chucking the flyers and he's like, "Dad, why do you want to be on council? What does council do?" And
Yeah.
I said, "It's for you, buddy. Like town council helps and comes together to make decisions that affect the whole town and to
Yes.
affect how we live our lives and our quality of life. And so if I can be a part of that and if I can help shape that, then I'm all over it." So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
What do your boys think of the Okotoks dogs?
The dogs. I we it's funny. Um, we drive by the stadium all the time, and then we look over and we see them, that type of thing. I took Briggs, my oldest son, there, and we had a great time. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, they're a little young for the sports type of
Sure.
thing,
Yeah.
but just being there in the stands and cheering and going crazy, it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's such a great thing to have. There are so many different things, different functions going on. I personally think I'd love to see someone come with a vision for some kind of sports complex outdoor
Mhm.
like baseball like, and I know that they have an area for that, but there's already a lot of sporting events that do take place here like soccer, baseball, softball, all these things, but we just don't have accommodations. People always have to stay in Calgary. And I think if you had some kind of somebody at some point, and I'm really sidetracked tracking here because we're not taking on new projects, but you just
Right.
think that Okotoks could be a great tourist destination on the weekends for families that are coming for soccer or tournaments or whatever. But if we just had a few more hotels here that could accommodate people, but it
Oh
is
yeah.
it is it is such a great town.
Yeah, and then, like you said, like every weekend, because I just kind of live by the dog stadium. We drive down that hill, and the baseball fields are used, the soccer fields, the playground, the BMX. Like we just have so much going on, and it's hustling and
Yeah.
bustling, and it's just fun. Like it's fun to be outside when everyone's out and about and enjoying and playing sports and doing things. So
Yeah.
I agree with you. If we can bring more people in to spend money here, to be here, to enjoy our facilities, then yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No.
Mark, thanks for your time today.
Hey, no, thank you. I appreciate you doing this. This is a huge undertaking, so that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
no, for sure. And I appreciate you stepping up to the plate and not just for your family, but for all of Okotoks, putting your name out there and running for town council.
For sure. Yeah, no, my pleasure.
Thanks, Mark.
Hey, have a good one.
You too.
All right, cheers.